My family had this tradition where every Christmas Eve, the youngest child had to sleep alone in the basement as punishment for something they didn't do. They called it accountability night. The idea was that someone had to take responsibility for all the family's problems that year, and the youngest kid was chosen because they were too young to fight back. When I was 6, it was my first turn. My parents told me I had to sleep in the basement because our family had a hard year and someone needed to accept the burden. I asked what I did wrong. They said it didn't matter. This was about being strong for the family. The basement was freezing, dark, and full of spiders. I cried the entire night on that musty couch, listening to everyone upstairs laughing and opening presents without me. Every year, it got worse. When I was 9, they added a rule that I couldn't use a blanket because suffering builds character. At 11, they turned off the heat completely. My mom would say, "This is what makes you resilient. This is what separates our family from weak families." I'd shake all night, teeth chattering, while they drank hot chocolate upstairs. But here's the truly messed up part. My little brother Danny was born when I was 12, which meant I was finally free. Now he'd be the youngest. Now he'd take my place in that freezing basement. I remember feeling relieved and then immediately feeling disgusted with myself for being relieved that a baby would eventually suffer what I suffered. When Danny turned 6, I watched my parents tell him about accountability night. I saw the confusion in his eyes, the same confusion I'd had. That night, as they walked him down to the basement, he looked back at me with tears streaming down his face, and something inside me snapped. I waited until everyone went to bed, then I snuck downstairs with every blanket I could find, a space heater I'd bought with my own money, and a bag of Christmas cookies. I told Danny he wasn't alone, that this tradition was garbage, and that I was staying with him. We spent the night playing card games by flashlight while the space heater hummed in the corner. In the morning, my dad found us both asleep on that basement couch wrapped in blankets. He exploded, screaming that I'd ruined everything, that I'd made Danny weak, that I destroyed a family tradition that went back 3 generations. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Good. This tradition deserves to die." He grounded me for a month, took away everything. But I didn't care because I protected my little brother from one night of psychological torture disguised as character building. Years passed. I moved out at 18 and took Danny with me. Got an apartment, got him enrolled in a better school, cut off contact with my parents. They called me selfish, said I was destroying the family. But then my cousin Emily reached out. She told me her therapist said our family tradition was actually ritualized child abuse, that sleeping alone in cold basements as punishment for imaginary crimes was emotional neglect. She'd started therapy at 25 because she had severe anxiety around Christmas. Last Christmas, Danny and I had our own celebration. Warm house, lots of food, presents under a tree. Nobody sleeping in a basement. He's 16 now and told me he doesn't remember much about those early years except the night I stayed with him in the basement. He said that's when he learned what real family means, not the people who hurt you because tradition says so, but the people who break bad traditions to protect you. Some traditions deserve to be forgotten, buried, and never spoken of again. This is one of them.